everybody, and welcome to Anime Reflux. Zero, what the hell is the name of this show? It'd be on Death March.
Death Marching to the Parallel World Rhapsody.
That's a stupid name.
Stupid name for a stupid show.
I might sound overly bitter, but yeah.
No, you're not. You're not.
What Ken said.
So, boys and girls, have you ever wanted to, actually watch a self-insert come to life and,
No. That's giving the show way too much credit. Let me give you a basic rundown of this show before we do the full summary. And then I got transported to like a fantasy world, and there were monsters. But then I summoned giant rocks from the sky, and it killed them all. And because I was super strong, so I was like level 310. And that, Mom, shut up! It's a video game thing. It just shush. Tell them a story. So I was super strong, so I went and saved a princess who was falling out of the sky. Oh, and I threw a rock at a dragon, and it was scared, and it flew off.
Okay, so I should note that while I was trying to watch this show, I got about halfway through it, and then my web page reloaded. So, as far as I could tell, this was an interesting show, an interesting premise from what I saw, but apparently it got really bad. Let me just, if I may, give a rundown. We
Sure.
start off pretty much with it being like a normal slice of life anime. Generic Japanese person, Suzuki, I think.
Something Sato.
So Sato is a programmer for a game, and
He's a programmer for several games. He's basically just a code monkey at a game company.
yeah,
So we see him on his way to work, interacting with other coworkers. Nothing
Slice
overly.
it. Knock it off.
I'm trying to fix my mic. That's the only way to do it.
Mute your mic while you're doing it, perhaps.
that won't do anything.
Yeah.
It's the server making the sound, not me.
Mm.
Mm.
Anyway, we have him overworked, sort of 29-year-old working. He's really good at what he does. We have him just talking about the job, normal stuff for people with him. Enters a computer lab, says time to start the death march, how he refers to working in that industry, which I can sympathize. I
Yeah.
think.
The translated term that's most appropriate will probably be crunch, or the never-ending crunch in this case, which is, yeah, that's pretty much how the game industry works everywhere, not just in Japan, but Japan is probably worse because of how their culture is.
Yeah, he alludes to that later on. Something about being a corporate slave or something like that.
A good little work rant or something along those lines.
That's it. But yeah, for the first good part of the show, we see him just completely mundane, aside from the title sequence, which is taken from any given shonen anime or something like that.
Not even that. That's also giving it too much credit, but okay.
Well, anyway, aside from the title sequence, flashy, lots of fantastic characters, that sort of thing. Cut back to the computer lab where he's one of several people working on bugs for games coming out. Round fellow comes up to him saying that one of the games that they had planned was too hard for the beginners, and Sato said if they made it any easier, then their target audience wouldn't want to play it.
Yeah, the thing is, the reason it's called a death march, and that might be more accurate than crunch, is because you get the implication that these games that they're working on, he works for an MMO company. So constantly in development, constantly squashing bugs because people are constantly finding exploits that he has to patch and fix and change.
And that's before the hackers get their hands on the game and try to
Yeah.
So yeah, basically it just goes on, him doing the grind, focusing on 2 different games, FFN, a mobile game, and War World, the MMORPG. Just juggling the 2 of them, trying to deal with bug reports, staying up for 30 hours, not getting to sleep for 3 days. And when
Sleeping
he finally
in the office under his desk and such.
Yeah. And when he finally gets to take that rest, he says, "Laugh at me for being a corporate slave. Sleep is my relief.
Sleep is my justice."
That's just... So then
That is the point where this stopped being a kind of intriguing anime.
You know what would have been great? Actually, would have made this a lot better. If that was his 30th birthday, then he would become a wizard. That would have been perfect. They could have totally worked that in. That would have been great.
Okay. Good joke.
Thank you.
So you were saying, Patient, that was that the point where it cut off, or was it a little bit later?
It was a bit later. I saw there was a weird brief flash of text screen, and then he wakes up in an unfamiliar valley, and he takes it completely in stride, seeing a game interface, seeing that he looks like he was in high school, but logical mind processes it, and it's not unusual to dream about your younger self. I've dreamed about stuff like this before, so he knows that it's a dream, and I guess he's just making the most of it. And in fairness, if you suddenly woke up in a place like that and you knew it was a dream, why not make the most of it?
I'd be more freaked out that I woke up as Kirito.
Yeah. As someone who stayed awake for long periods of time during his college career, having a fever dream that is super weird, that's pretty normal. So him just going with it is completely understandable to me.
So we go on a little bit more, and he sees that it's War World that he was working on, to his chagrin. Why did I have to get dropped into this, he says. And then he sees a cloud of enemies approaching, and he sees the problem that he had been trying to work out, which was basically to avoid making it too easy for the seasoned players. You get 3 overpowered attacks at the start, and you get a serious bonus if you can clear it without using any of them. I believe that's how it went.
That was it. If for basically the starting area of the game, you get 3 meteor shower attacks, which is like an end game spell, and if you don't use any of them, then you get a bonus at the end of the starting area, because that would satisfy the experienced players or people that don't want to be babied, but it would also satisfy the people that kind of need a leg up because they don't know what they're doing. Was his solution.
And it's a good solution, I'd say.
It is. It's a pretty good one.
I wasn't sure if that was the solution for just the beta or the full release of the game. That was kind of confusing.
It's not made entirely clear.
No.
And I get the feeling it won't actually matter going forward.
Hey, guess what? This episode is the last episode where it's the last time you'll hear anything about programming or coding.
Yep.
Well, in any case, we see... How is it? Ah, yes. Bunch of lizard men or something approach. Generic foe, generic... And they start firing arrows at him. He hides from them because they're all at level 50, as he can see through the game interface. He's only level 1. He doesn't have a chance against them. But they start shooting down a rain of arrows at him. one of them nicks his cheek. He sees the blood and he's starting to freak out because, well, does that actually happen in a dream? I honestly don't have dreams that exciting.
You don't feel pain usually.
You don't
in a
feel
dream.
pain, and if you feel like you're
Yeah.
going, like something's going to hurt you really bad, you usually wake up.
Yeah, like my usual. I had a lot of bad dreams as a kid, so I worked out a plan for actually getting out of one. Was basically if you try hard enough to hurt yourself in a dream, then you will feel it and wake up. Was usually my method. Of course, that requires a little bit of lucid dreaming just for the sake of realizing you're in a dream, but
Honestly,
that I had no problem with for some reason. Sorry.
Just as a brief non sequitur, I've been trying lucid dreaming for years. I've managed it a couple of times, and I just keep. More often than not, I don't remember my dreams at all, if I dream at all.
That's kind of how it works. I don't remember any of mine either.
Yeah, I don't remember any of mine nowadays either. This was all when I was a kid, like when I was 5 and dreaming of monsters coming out of the toilet. So, yeah. Yeah, that was my recurring nightmare as a kid.
Interesting.
Right.
Thank you for that. That sounded like, I just learned something important about Casey today.
You did. I did, and I'm going to exploit it in the future.
I have something for that, but before I get to it, well, basically, we see him. The first arrow nicks his cheek. He has time to panic before they start sending a rain of arrows around him. He takes cover behind the rock and is saying, I've been a good little worker ant, but I don't hate life quite enough to want to die right now. And that's about when the page refreshed for me.
Yeah, from that point, he continues to panic and tries using the meteor shower that, he put in the game. But it says features not implemented yet. So he tries using all of them, and eventually it works for some reason that's not well established.
That was when I cut out, when the meteors started.
Yeah, they fall and kill everything but one of the things. And then he has a cool sword fight with that last injured one and realizes, oh wow, I'm level 310 and look at all this stuff I got from those lizard men because of loot drops, and look at all the money I have now and how cool and powerful and all the skills and spells I have, and I'm perfect at everything. Oh my god, this is amazing. Isn't this great? Aren't I a great character?
He committed genocide of an entire race.
Now, something to acknowledge here. If you were actually in that kind of circumstance, I think it would probably be fair for you to be reacting like him. The only problem is it doesn't make a good story.
No. Also, did he kill all the lizardmen? I thought that was just an army.
It's just an army. Zero's exaggerating.
Yeah.
There's a
Well, I mean,
novel,
realistically, you don't literally have to kill every single one of something for it to be
in
genocide.
the novel, he basically wiped out all the dragons, and he gets enemy of dragonkind or something. But he killed the dragon god.
Those were dragons? I thought they were just lizard men.
He killed dragons and lizards because they were in the same area for a reason, I guess.
Oh, yeah, and he tries out one of his skills, which is basically he got the meteor shower thing for free. He can just use that now. And because it's a mastered skill and he's level 310, it basically wipes out the entire region of the game world, because he has to escape into another one where there is a shield blocking the effects of the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then he sees a wyvern, or a dragon, or something. I think it was a wyvern. I think he called it a wyvern.
It was a wyvern.
Yep, and he throws a rock at it, and it hurts it so much that it flies away in fear. Yep.
Debating whether or not I should bother qualifying this. Wyvern is a large dragon with 2 feet and no other limbs, just large wings. Just felt the need to say that.
Yeah, and usually given a poisonous barb on its tail. Usually. Yeah, so I don't think this story cares about the distinction. I didn't really pay attention to what the thing actually looked like. But it flies towards an army, and dude Sato watches them fight it, and it's like, look how weak and pansy-ass they are, that they have to have like thousands of people fighting this one beast that I just threw a rock at. Look how cool I am compared to them, is how it looks based on how that whole situation is framed. And then one of them, who is a pretty girl, because of course, does a spell and it doesn't do anything. She gets knocked out of the sky, and one of the mages that are on hand casts basically Featherfall, and she's fine, but Sato jumps up and catches her anyway for reasons.
Because he needs the glory, right?
And
I mean, it is a game that he helped code. He would know what the spell does.
I will give this series 1 point of credit for the second half of the show. The first half we'll get to, because that deserves a little bit more discussion. But the second half, the mages chanting is actually pretty good. Like having just them say the name of the spell, but also have some chanting for what they'd actually be doing underneath it, is actually pretty good. I like that. It sounds very otherworldly, which is what you want when it comes to magic. So
It was quite nice, yeah. By the way, I don't think we ever asked this. Who watched the dub and who watched the sub?
I didn't know there was a dub.
There was a dub. Dub is annoying as fuck.
It was not actually bad. One thing I did actually like is his voice changes when he goes into his younger body, but his mental thoughts stay the same.
See, I hated that because in the sub it was incredibly inconsistent.
Oh, I see.
The dub annoyed me. So, anyone watch more than one episode?
Fuck no.
I read the manga, but it was so long ago I can't say. It's nothing special.
It's really not. That show's so boring.
How much did you watch?
God. Like 5 episodes. And I was like,
why?
I wasn't doing anything.
I could not. What did you watch?
I was
5
waiting on
episodes of this shit.
I was waiting on a show to start on Saturday, and it wasn't, and I had nothing else to do.
Casey, Prince of Tennis.
I enjoyed that when I was watching it.
I had nothing else to do, and I was like, maybe it gets better. You know, maybe this gets interesting. No, it's so boring. Oh my god.
Yes, this is a show that is, we're just going to relax in the other world with no conflict.
Yeah, you know how the second half of this episode was basically, look how great my life is now. It's that for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
As somebody who read the source material, I can assure you it does not get better.
I did notice this episode was actually full of false conflict. Like, he's almost late for the train, but it resolves itself in like 10 seconds.
Yes.
That style of conflict, it's like there's no weight there. There's no danger. There's no nothing. He instantly solves the problem.
Yeah, you want to know some more of this false conflict that I came across while watching the rest of this show?
Go for it.
In the order that I can remember it in. Let's see. Oh, there are these demi-human slaves that are getting treated badly. Oh, hey, wait, they're my slaves now, so I guess I'll treat them nice. That's one.
Hey, it's the isekai trope of endorsing slavery. As long as you treat them okay.
Let's see, what else is there that I came across? Oh, we get magically trapped in this random ass dungeon. That's okay. We'll just work our way through it, even though I'm 312. But let's level up my slaves and do that whole thing. Even though I can get through this in 10 minutes, because I'm 312 or 15 or whatever his fucking level is.
There's no reason to do anything ever.
It really isn't. He has all the money. He has all the money he needs.
Yep.
So buying things isn't a problem.
They established that. Yep.
When he has to leave a tavern because there's not enough room for him and his slave ladies. Oh, by the way, he gets more slaves.
Of course he does.
Yep. When he has to leave, he just decides, "Oh, I'll go buy a house," and then he goes and finds a place to stay that has rent and lets demi-humans in, and it's just smooth sailing.
So bottom line, this is what happens when you let someone make a power fantasy self-insert fan fiction into an anime.
This is essentially one of the more egregious isekai shows out there.
Yeah, patient. I think you're tarring a lot of people with the same brush. I'm gonna be honest. My self-insert is essentially a power fantasy in some respects, but I'm not 5, so I understand what conflict is and why it's important. So
I apologize. I meant a god mod self-insert.
yeah, that's probably more right. Yeah.
There's no moral conflict with the character. I've seen nothing so far that he's like, I need to do something about this, or this is a problem for me.
Any power he has unearned. Anything that he does is also unearned because he uses the power that he did not earn to achieve it.
So let's talk about that first half of the episode. That was way more interesting. Just someone stuck in an endless crunch game development production job, just a code monkey, and dealing with the colleague that you're friends with, but also is kind of shafting you because he doesn't want to get in trouble.
So I'm not friends with any of my fellow workers.
Yeah, that whole thing was way more interesting than this, partially because there was fucking conflict in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It felt like things actually mattered.
There was more. Go ahead.
I honestly don't like. I try to avoid normal, real-world slice of life sort of things, just because the normal conflicts always strike me as just less interesting alternatives compared to the supernatural ones. But I found that I was actually finding some interest in the game stuff. I mean, if it was just going to be the same thing day in and day out, just that sort of thing, not sure it would have kept my interest, but I don't know.
There was some meat to it that they could have gone into. Like
There were several conflicts.
It's a thing we hear about a lot, is game development and what kind of hell it can be. And the Konami stories that came out a couple of years ago where things got really messed up, that was an interesting story. It was also terrible, but if there was an anime that actually told that story, the story of someone living that life, doing that job, and working those ridiculous hours with the incredible stress and pressure that comes with that job and that not-so-great wage. Slicer, I swear. The not-so-great wage that comes with that job, where you're working ridiculous hours for minimal pay with incredible stress, where you're sleeping under your desk. That's an interesting story and an interesting subject to base your story around. I swear, the fucking noises.
Please, people, turn off your phones.
Yes, please.
Sure.
Or mute them and just have a light. That'd be good too. Yep.
I love you, Metal Gear. Yeah, there were several conflicts. There was like the main character versus the game programming lifestyle, him versus management because they were telling him to do shit that he didn't want to do that would make the game suck. Him versus that round dude that was kind of thrown to the wolves on some shit. him versus his actual lifestyle, because he was like, I'm about to turn 30 and I don't have a girlfriend or anything. Life sucks.
Yep. Even his colleagues are telling him, hey, you're fucking alone. You should try and do something about that. While that colleague is also saying, yeah, I haven't been home in 3 days. The wife's going to be pissed. Yeah.
Hey, at least he got that far first. But yeah, there was things like, I could have watched a few episodes of that.
Yeah. I'd be down. But who cares about that? We can have Fantasyland number 37421 with no conflict or interesting development of characters or relationships.
Me and Casey got into a long conversation about this, where you had lots of... With the isekai genre is really weird in anime form, because stuff like Konosuba, which makes fun of this type of crap, happened first.
Yeah, the light novels came out, and it was a bunch of crap, and then Konosuba came out making fun of them as a light novel. And then Konosuba, because it was super popular, got an anime adaptation first before all the crap did. So the satire and subversion of all the terrible isekai tropes came out before any of the crap they were making fun of could come out.
That is pretty funny, I'll admit. Also, how many episodes do you think they could have gotten out of the slice of life game designer?
Not a whole lot, like 5.
I was going to go with like 2.
I'd say you could pull out a full half season of that.
I say if you were to develop it a bit and have more characters introduced,
yeah,
you could actually make a show out of it.
That would have been a really nice way to establish his character before he gets into this supernatural setting, and then how it affects him.
This is how much they got out of this when they were treating it as just an excuse to put the character into the game. If they were actually treating it as the core of the show, I feel like they could do a lot with that.
They're not going to do that because...
Well, what do you think about... I had an idea about a different way to do this show, but might be bad. Let me run it by you guys. Picture it this way. He's running through all of these games, testing them, that sort of thing. When he falls asleep the few times, he wakes up in the game that he's testing, sort of like what happened here, but after getting to a certain point, he wakes up, and so he has more first-hand experience what the game's like.
That's not a bad idea. Like, yeah, this is like a cheat sheet for how to develop the game. Like the whole meteor shower thing, the feature that he just added. He just figured out how you could do a ridiculous exploit because of that.
Or he can actually go in there and see glitches happening. Somehow. I don't know how they would make that happen, but it would be hilarious.
That always makes me kind of sad when we come up with better ideas for the shows we're watching.
Well, I mean, it's sort of what we do.
Yeah. Anything else to say about this one before we move on?
I liked what I saw. I just wish that what I didn't see
was better.
I watched this I read this a long time ago, and it got very popular, and the thing is, it keeps introducing more and more female characters, and all of them are flat. They have no personality. It's this girl is here just because kind of thing. He gets a literal, just entire caravan of girls that...
Oh, that's what the caravan was in the intro.
Yeah,
okay,
might as well have been.
He gets more than that, and they all get maybe one line of dialogue every now and then. Because there's so many characters, and none of them really matter.
Let's move on, shall we?
Whatever. I'm done with this show.
Can do the thing.
Yeah, well, it wasn't good, but find solace in the fact you only had to watch like half of it.
The first episode honestly wasn't that bad. At least we got half of a solid episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just bitter because I told you I watched like 5 episodes.
Yeah, that was on you.
That was not on me. It was the fact that I had nothing else to do that Saturday.
There
So it's
are
on
other
you.
things.
I was stuck somewhere.
Hey,
I think
Kenji.
you
here's an
wasted
idea.
your time.
Kenji, here's an idea.
Mm.
Why don't you pull up the random number generator?
I've already done it.
Allow me to finish, please. Pull up the random number generator, roll an anime, and then watch that instead.
Well, if it sucks, then it's still going to be a problem. 5.
E.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
All right, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So it's 14.
14.
I think it's like 5. Yeah, it's 5.
Why are you laughing? You have to watch it too.
It's gonna be funny.
9.
9.
Dang.
1, 2, 3, 5. Icon was 4, actually.
Oh.
5, 7, 8. In Musubi no Yoko. Oh no.
I don't like the sound of that.
Fox Spirit Matchmaker.
Uh,
And Musubi no Yoko-chan? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Musubi no Yoko-chan TV anime announced for summer 2017, premieres on July 1st. Thank you, summary. That was useful. Zero, you got us covered?
No, it doesn't.
This was Inusabi?
Musubi.
Emnu.
Musubi.
Fox Spirit Matchmaker.
Okay, so here we go. True love never dies, even when it is between a human and a near immortal yokai. Thankfully, Fox Spirit yokai have discovered a solution which allows a human to be reincarnated. And with the services of a Fox Spirit matchmaker, eventually recall memories of their past life, so they can begin anew with their beloved yokai.
Oh, God.
Enter Bai Yu-Chu, a powerful human Taoist who desires freedom. Yeah. It's a long summary thing.
Is he
Can
done?
someone post a link? Yes.
The powerful human Taoist and Tushen Susu, a small innocent fox spirit who dreams of becoming a renowned matchmaker despite her reputation as a colossal screw-up. Okay.
Oh, God, it's like you read a list of tropes I'm not interested in.
We gotta matchmake people.
Vito.
I'm in.
In for the veto or in for the watching?
Veto.
Wait. If I veto this, do we start from the start or start from E?
Start from the start.
Okay. Veto.
I'll veto condition we start from E.
That's cheating.
I don't care. That's my condition.
If everybody else wants to veto, I will veto as well.
So be it, veto.
Well, there's that. All right, then. 5 random Fox anime that I really don't want to watch. We're going to start over
Oh boy.
from the very beginning.
All right, marking this.
No,
as
you
a-
start over from E. That was the condition for my vote.
Are we really gonna do this, Slicer?
Yes.
Well, then I guess we're not switching from this thing.
If we land on in Musubi again, then can we start from the top, Slicer?
Nah, sorry, I didn't. That got a little garbled on my end. What's up?
If we land on the same show again, then can we start from the top?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Thank you.
I don't understand. What's an E that's so bad?
I can.
Aiken, technically.
But we have all these other things that are great too.
Yeah,
have-
but I want to have patient watch it.
Things like
He's not going to watch it.
I don't know what this anime is or that anime.
All these great anime. I don't know what this is, but I'm sure it's great.
I mean,
I
Ice Shield 21's on here.
No, it's not under E.
Really? Oh.
All right, then. Let's do this. 14.
feel like you say that every time I think that there's.
4.
You're rigging it. You have to.
I'm honest to God not. I swear. It's 4.
It's everything I've ever wanted.
I knew this was going to happen.
Slicer, I hope you realize that next week, when we roll again, you're going to pay for this.
Except there's no anime I won't watch. There's no trash low enough.
So.
You say that, but what about all the ones?
Okay, what are we...
If there was something, that you wouldn't watch, you would still have your.
No, that's fair. I usually use mine for stuff that just seems really, really boring. So, I suppose there's that.
So, did we actually get this?
Yes. All right.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
I mean,
no.
I mean, we vetoed it once before. For the best that we just get it out of the way, I guess.
It's going to come
I
back.
trust Patient, but Zero apparently wants a double check. Thankfully, Patient sent me an updated list, I think. So. Or not. I don't know what you actually sent me, Patient. But that's.
Yes, it's the same list. Just click at the bottom.
Oh, the sheet. Yeah, okay. E. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Patient, you got it wrong.
No, I didn't. I didn't count all of the red ones because the category is.
Well, Earl and Fairy we've already done. F we've already done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think Aiken's 5.
No, Aiken is 4.
Which ones have we already done?
Earl and Fairy,
Mhm.
F, A Tale of Melodies, and Eden of the East.
Oh yeah, we did do Eden of the East. You're right. Yeah. So Aiken, it is. Yeah.
Slicerness, you have no idea what you brought. You said you weren't willing to watch trash. You have no idea.
Boob shells.
I'm looking forward to it. Bring on the worst.
We've tried to avoid it for so long that I actually couldn't believe that we actually got it.
I knew exactly what was going to happen the second Slicer said, only if we get E again.
Yes.
Casey, read the summary so we can get out of here.
Alrighty. Zashono Academy is a very large private school with a total of 54,000 students from elementary level to junior high and high school. Among the large number of club activities at the school, one club is quite unique, the Aiken Club. The activities of this club are shrouded in mystery, and strangely enough, all the members are excessively busty, headstrong female students.
No way.
Like Shinonome Chiharu, the top scorer in the entrance exam. The newly arrived high school boy, Mifune Densuke, is forced to join the Aiken Club, and in an instant his dull life so far turns upside down, with intense passion, romance, and much trouble.
I hate you, Slicer.
How do their shirts even work?
If I ever see you in
I
person,
don't even know.
if I ever see you in person, I'm putting you in a submission hold.
They probably have some sort of ribbing in the under the bust to make it actually work like that.
That or wearing maternity clothes. All of them.
So thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with this.
I mean, maternity clothes don't actually work like that. Usually they just, just drape over the top, so it's not quite the same thing.
Thanks.
You don't get fitted maternity clothes. That's a stupid idea. It's not how that
How do
works.
these shirts even work?
Alright, so we'll be watching that next week. Look forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. Bye, everybody.
If I ever shake your hand, Slicer, please know that a flying armbar is the first thing that's going to happen.
Rabbits.
I'll just be laughing the whole time. It's fine.
All these horrible gifts that I'm finding of this show, but then Patient would leave forever.
Bye, guys.
You do realize that even if I do watch the show, I don't have to say anything about it, right?
But you will.
The knowledge that I forced you to watch it is enough. It's enough for me now.
Can we finish the outro now, please?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
What? You haven't stopped recording yet?
No, you keep talking.
Hasn't stopped you before?